Good morning, everyone. We're going to start as usual with a number talk. So the question here is, which addition statement is the largest? So I'm just going to put up two little addition problems, and all you have to do is decide which one is the larger one. Okay? And if we're writing the video, just please pause between the problems so you can have the discussion and come to your conclusion. And I'll mention what I think it is at the end, but I think you'll have already figured it out at that point. Okay, so here's the first one. Which one is larger? 15 plus 30 plus 25, or 20 plus 35 plus 30. So you can pause the video for a moment and then resume when you're ready. So if you're back now, hopefully you've decided that this one is the larger one. Okay, either because you added it all up, or just because you noticed that each of these numbers, right, 20 is bigger than 15, 35 is bigger than 30, and 30 is bigger than 25, so this has to be larger. Okay, here's the second one. Would you pick 32 plus 46 plus 97 plus 18, or would you pick 30 plus 50 plus 100 plus 15? Okay, now that you're back, again, I'm pretty sure it's the second one that is the larger one for similar kind of reasons. If you look at these numbers, right, 50 is 4 more than this one. This is 3 more, this is 3 more, and this one is 2 less. So you're gaining much more than you're losing. Okay, and the final one, and I won't give the answer to this one. I'll just let you guys decide which one it is. Okay. 10 plus 12 plus 14 plus 16, or do you want 11 plus 13 plus 15 plus 13? Which one is the larger? All right, so you're back, and we're going to move into the lesson part now. Okay, so please, if you don't already, get out your notebook, get a piece of paper, get something to write with. If you need to, there you can borrow some pencils from the drawer at the front of the class. Okay, and away we go. Okay, so what we're going to be doing this week is volume. Before we do that, we'll take a little moment here to review some order of operations work. So throughout the week, we're going to go over this a little bit. So if I have a statement like this, 12 plus 6 times 4, right, the question is, which one should I do first? Okay. So there's lots of different ways to think about it, but probably in the past you learned about something called bed mass. Okay, which again, it's a little memory aid to help you remember what to do first, right? So the B stands for brackets, the E stands for exponents, and then division, multiplication, addition, subtraction. With the key thing to remember here, that these two and these two, okay, they are kind of on the same level, right? So if you see something inside brackets, you definitely have to do that first. If you see an exponent, you definitely have to do that next. But for division and multiplication, you can do them in whatever order they show up. You don't have to do division first, always. Okay, and same with addition and subtraction. You do not have to do addition first, always. If subtraction is before addition, that's okay. So for my first example, let's see here. I've got addition and multiplication. Okay, so definitely the multiplication comes first. Okay, so when I'm writing this down, it's good form to show each step, right? So on this step, I'm just going to multiply. Okay, so 6 times 4, right, is 24. Okay, and now I add. I have 12 plus 24, and that is equal to 36. Okay, so here's my next one. Okay, again here I have a mix of multiplication and subtraction. So definitely the multiplication should go first. Okay, and they're on the same level, so I can take care of those both at the same time. So here I have 10 times 8. Okay, so 10 times 8 is 80. Okay, 5 times 4 is 20. So now I have 80 take away 20, and that's equal to 60. Okay, so for the third one, I invite you to spend like maybe 1 minute trying that on your own first. Let me pause the video for a second, and then I'll take it up here. Okay, so here I have multiplication and division, which are on the same level, so I can just do them in the order that they appear. So I can do my multiplication first. So 12 times 2 is 24. I'm going to divide that by 6. Okay. And then 24 divided by 6, that is 4. And there's my final answer of 4. Okay, so we only covered the first 4 today. We'll keep building up during the week. So right now, you're going to get your first practice handout, which is just 10 little bed mass problems like this. Probably shouldn't take you more than 10 minutes or so to work on. And then come back to you'll be coming back to your notes in about 10 to 15 minutes. Okay, so if you've resumed the video, that means you've had some time to practice the bed mass work, and now we're going to talk about volume for a little bit. Okay, so we're going to start with volume of prisms. So you may have heard this word before, and so just to review what it means, a prism is a 3D shape that has the same shape on the top and the bottom, and they're parallel to each other. Okay, so a classic example would be a box, something like this. The key thing being, right, the bottom, this rectangle down here, okay, is exactly the same as this rectangle up here, and they're parallel to each other, right? They run in the same direction, okay? And I can put any shape I want at the top and bottom, right? This would be a rectangular prism, okay? But, I could put a triangle there at the top and the bottom. That's not very straight, right? But that would be a triangular prism. Okay, I could put, a hexagon, octagon. I could put a star at the top and the bottom. Okay, and it would just be a star-based prism. Okay, but the important thing is that the shape of the top and the bottom, when you're thinking about it, have to be exactly the same. So the nice thing about prisms is that we can calculate their volume the same way. Okay, so this is the general formula for the volume of any prism. Okay, it's you do the area of the base. Okay, so first I want to find the area of the bottom. Okay, and then I just take that and multiply it by the height, so how tall it is. Okay, it's kind of like taking this, surface, the floor, and shading it up, and that fills it up. Okay, or think of it like a really thin layer of water. As I fill up the tank, it fills up the whole thing. Okay, so we did area last week, so this is just combining what we did last week, plus this one extra step of multiplying by the height. Okay, so next we're just going to go through 2 examples of how this might work. So for example 1, we're going to determine the volume of this rectangular prism, so another box type shape. So the way I like to do this is to separate it into 2 steps. Okay, so the first thing is I want to do the area of the base. Okay, so my first step is what's the area of the bottom of the shape here? So it's a box, this is a rectangle, so that means my area is going to be length times width. Okay, so my dimensions for this rectangle are 8 and 6, so I have 8 by 6. And when I multiply those together, I get 48. And I guess I should put some units on here, because I know someone is going to be thinking about that. So let's say if this was centimeters. Okay, this would be centimeters squared, because I'm talking about area now. Okay. Once I know the area of the base, Okay, I can do the volume, because the volume is just the area of the base, which I just figured out, and multiply that by the height. Okay, so we start with 48. That was the area of the base, and the height of my object is 10. So I'm going to multiply that by 10. Okay, and I get 480. Okay, and my units, because I'm talking about volume now, is centimeters cubed. Okay, like a little cube. Okay, and that's pretty much it, right? The only extra step here is we're multiplying the area by the height. So for our second example, we're going to do the same thing with the triangle. Okay, so determine the volume of this tent. Okay. So one thing to note here, and this is really important, as we set up to do area of the base, okay, the question is, what's the base of this object going to be? Okay. And you may be thinking right now, well, it's a tent, so the base was obviously the bottom of this tent. Okay, but remember what the rule was for a prism, that the shape on the bottom, which would be this rectangle, has to be the same as the shape at the top. But at the top of the tent, I don't have a shape. I just have a line that goes across the top there, right, where the pole would be. Okay, so this rectangle is not the base of this shape. Okay. What I want is to have the same shape, okay, that is kind of parallel to each other there. So if you could imagine for a moment, I'll see if this will work here. Okay, if I could pick the tent up and turn it like this, okay, right, I have a triangle on the top and a triangle on the bottom now. So it's the triangle that is actually the base of this shape, okay? So this right here, okay, is the base. Okay, so now we're ready to begin. Okay, my shape is a triangle. And so again, from last week, that's base times height. And we're going to divide that by 2. Okay, so my base, the distance along the bottom is 4 feet. Okay, and that's times 2.8. And then divided by 2. Okay, we'll start with the top. 4 times 2.8 is 11.2. And then we're going to divide that by 2. And we get 5.6. The units were in feet, so this would be feet squared. Or maybe square feet. Okay, so now that I've done that, we can do the volume. So volume is area of the base times the height. Okay, we just worked out the area of the base is 5.6 square feet times 8. Okay, so when I multiply those together, I'm pretty sure I get 44.8 feet squared. Okay, so that is the volume, sorry, not squared, my apologies. We're talking about volume now, so that would be cubed. Okay, so the volume of my tent is 44.8 cubic feet. Okay, and that's the final answer. So now you'll be getting your second handout. Once again, just one page, and it's got some shapes on it that I want you to calculate the volume of. Just one thing to watch here. Okay, I was trying to find a nice handout, and it was a little bit difficult to do. Okay, so what I want you to focus on is doing the quote-unquote easy ones. So do number 1. Okay, so maybe once you have this sheet, maybe replay this part and circle these ones. Okay, you should definitely be able to do number 1, 4, 5, 7, and 8. Okay, those should be nice and easy for you to do. Okay, if you get those all done, then you might want to try to do, say, number 9 and number 3. Okay, the two trapezoid ones is a bit of a challenge. Okay, and if you can figure out 2 and 6 right away, go for it, but don't really worry about those. Okay, so the key ones I want you to get done, again, are 1, 4, 5, 7, and 8. You can definitely do those ones with what we've had in our note. Okay, so that's what I want you to work on for the rest of the class. Okay, have a wonderful day, and I will see you tomorrow.